Hallelujah. Hallelujah, everyone. If you are listening to me and if you are joining me, my name is Victor Olasunkanmi, and I'm presenting from Celestial Reality Check. It's quite some time that we've had some discussions. So today I just want to give a quick update on the case of Quadri Olasunkanmi Ogunbode, the LASU graduate of political science who was declared missing since January 16th, 2025. And it's a very complicated issue or case. And for me and for some of us on CRC, I think that it's very important that we give this update so that everybody get to know what's going on with the updates. We know a lot of people are not straightforward. A lot of people are not honest in their opinion, in their judgment, and so many people we saw those reactions and misreactions. But again, we need to stay on the course of justice for this young man. So everybody saw the way the body was exhumed, and you saw how the body was picked up in pieces, how everything went. So it means that it was very horrific. That scene was horrific, and the cause of death needed to be determined. But a lot of things need to be done to determine that. So there are some informations that are coming out, and there are some silence in some quarters. I'm going to give the update about what we should be expecting, what the public need to be expecting with regards to this case. And then I'm going to say some things that I know that I feel is reasonable to share with the public. So, again, a very big thank you to the Commissioner of Police, CP Moshood Jimo, for the good job he did with his team, and all members of State Criminal Investigation Department, PAMT, and not all of them though, but those people who did their work in honesty. Thank you to all of you guys. And even Joe Police Station, those people who did their job in all honesty, thank you for you guys. I just want to give this update. So after the body was exhumed, Quadri's body, after it was exhumed, before then, one particular suspect was arrested, which was Olasunkanmi Ogunbode. Olasunkanmi Ogunbode was arrested in March 10. But before he was arrested, they took Sheriff and the shepherd Wekwetoji to the vicinity, the premises where the church, based on the investigation, based on the reports that was coming out and some of the information that the public was passing around. So the police decided to do that after some couple of weeks, So they got there, and then we just started seeing some videos coming out and some interview going on. I have a lot of videos that has to do with some of the interviews, the recordings that was done and all of that. So, and that was March 10. Remember, this guy was declared missing March 16th. And the first arrest that was made was the daughter of the shepherd. And that arrest was made in January. And she was arrested at Ojo Police Station. She was detained. And through her, we were able to get Sheriff, who is also a member of CCC Lirelua Parish, LASU 2. And through the lady, the shepherd who happened to be our own father was also arrested, because both of them got money from Quadri, this late man. The shepherd and his daughter, they got money from the sharing formula that those corporates or those suspects was doing with regards to the account of this victim that died, that was murdered in their custody. So, all of those people were arrested, and then Sheriff made a statement in Ojo Police Station. The statement was very clear. Sheriff made statements at Ojo Police Station, and everybody, the father of Quadri and every other person, they know the statement that Sheriff made. The statement was very clear. I challenge anybody that wants to get to know more about this killing. or this case, you can go to a job police station and go get that copy of the statement that was made initially when the arrest was done. So Sheriff happened to be very inconsistent, because after the first information and the statement that he made in Ojo, a whole lot of things became very inconsistent. And for us, some of the things we observed was that there's a manipulation going on. Somebody somewhere or some group of people are trying to, because he was like one of the prime suspects as at that period with the shepherd. And then they were just trying to do everything, because some of the information we got was like, okay, don't worry, let's exonerate this man. And then when you guys can be able to say that this man is not part of you, or he doesn't know anything that is going on, I mean the shepherd, so he can rally around and see how he can bail you guys out. So that was the drama that played out. And everybody, we know how the system of Nigeria is. We know, all of us know, we sabi, we know what they go on. There's manipulation everywhere. A lot of people who, these things happen. There was a guy that was arrested along with his friend, who happened to be a son of a senator. We all heard about the case and we are aware of the case. And eventually it was the senator's son who had the rifle in his car. And the car belongs to him. He was even the one driving it. He's the owner of the car. And there was a rifle, and that rifle belongs to him. And so at the end of the day, they manipulated the friend of the senator to say, you need to confess that this gun belongs to you and it doesn't belong to your friend, so that your friend can use his father's influence to bail you out of this mess. But eventually, the senator's son went out and they declared him innocent. So what happened to the young man who lied against himself to say that gun belongs to him? He rotted in jail. And eventually, when journalists were doing investigation and there was a lot of noise on social media, the police, or what's it called, they just gave it news that the guy died, that the guy committed suicide, Anyway, that aside, I'm just trying to say that. So we saw a video, as part of the videos that were sent to us. We saw a video, and I'm sure a lot of us have been seeing that video. So in that video, the police officer, after a lot of time that will make a lot of noise, and that happened in March. And remember, this guy was declared missing in January 16th. A lot of arrests were made in January, and the case was transferred from Ojo to Panti, and everybody kept quiet. When the case got to Panti, that was the end. There was nobody heard anything. Even while it was in Ojo, it was not in news. Nobody heard nothing about this case. It was not on any social media. Nobody heard anything. So when social media pressure started, and a lot of people started joining the campaign for justice, and they were looking for this missing guy, that was when some drama started. And then when we made the news that this particular body have been exhumed, and by the police came out to say, no, we did not exhume anybody. We didn't even see any corpse or Quadri. We have not found him. Eventually, the police, they came to the community, the church premises. They came with the shepherd and sheriff, and then they brought one phone, and they were recording sheriff. Then they were asking sheriff, okay, so that night, what happened? Sheriff was saying, oh, we were having a vigil. So they had a vigil on Wednesday, they had a vigil on Thursday, and they had a vigil on Friday. 3 days night going on in the church. So that happens on the 15th, on the 16th, and on the 17th. And this guy was declared missing on the 16th. The last day this guy was in the presence of the church was on the 16th. And the next day, which was on the 17th, they still continue vigil in the church. They were still praying. And so the police officer asked Sheriff, how many were they? He counted 5. He said there were 5 in number. And the police said, did you now went to the church? He said 3 of them went to participate in the church service, and 2 other people went back home. So, but the way he was talking, they were all members of that parish. Because I saw some news where some newspapers, they brought news outside, and they were saying that the father of Quadri narrated how area boys, those guys are not area boys, they are members of CCC Lasutu parish. They are celestial members, and they are members of the parish of the shepherd. So they are not area boys. I know a lot of people have compromised, and people don't really care. They just want to paint whatever news they want to paint. So they are members of our church. All of those boys, 5 of them inclusive, they are members of Celestial Church of Christ. And there's no way you guys can deny them to or reject them. So that's a statement of fact. And the shepherd know them. There's no shepherd that wouldn't know his members or wouldn't know who they are or what they do. Everybody know them. So you know your shepherd, and your shepherd as well knows you. So, in the video, then the police officer was now asking the guy, sheriff, that, okay, so, when you guys did what you did you now tell your shepherd? And the guy look at the face of the shepherd, and there was a lot of pause and oh, hold on, the network is bad. Hold on, they were just doing all those drama. We know everything that happened in that place. We know it's a drama, it's a stage. So the sheriff now said, oh no, he shook his head. So they now said, so now that you said that your shepherd did not know what happened, your views your own to now implicate the shepherd. Is that investigation? Is that interview? Is that the way people suspect should be interrogated in the case of a missing and a suspected murder case? That's not how it's done. We all know all of those things. So is the police going to be telling us that since January 17 that arrests have been made even to sheriff? They've not asked sheriff to say a statement. He has not said anything. Or even the statement he made in Ojo police station, those ones were not relevant, and the police in Panti, they don't have access to those information, or they are not aware of what the guy have said. And when the case was transferred to Panti, are you telling us that you guys never interrogated those guys, including the shepherd, including sheriff? You guys never interrogated them. You never got their statement. There was no any investigation or interrogation that you guys did. So it was when the media were shouting, were screaming, when they were coming out, when everybody started advocating, when the last two students were coming out, everybody was coming out. That was when you now came to the compound of the church. And then you now bring your Android phone and be recording and be saying, so how many are you? Did you inform your shepherd? It doesn't make sense. We saw those things. We have those informations. And when we look at it, we not be mumu now. Because a lot of people just see things and run out of emotions and as if they are blind, So for us, we saw those things and we analyze it. We see like a stage play. It's a stage play. Because you will not be telling me that it is on the field in March of suspect that have been in your custody since January. It is in March when the whole world was coming out to campaign for justice for this missing guy, and there was pressure everywhere. That's when you guys will now start to do your interrogation on the field. So we saw the fakeness in that video, and we were like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Okay, so that is the reason why CRC never post. It's not as if when we see any video or any information, we'll just be posting. No, that's not how things work. You need to take your time. You need to digest. You need to process. You need to dissect whatever information you see before you post it online. You need to agree and concur with the content that this information, this is what it is, before you post it out. So, but eventually, let me even ask us this question. The guy was counting their numbers, the people involved, and he counted 5, and he said they are all members of the church. So what about that? Do you exonerate your church when members of your church are counting themselves to be part of a cultist group or something? It doesn't make sense. And our church is a pity we are standing in an opposite direction of justice for humanity. It doesn't make sense. So the people who saw this video and they posted it and they were all saying, oh, the shepherd is not, there's something that struck my mind. The police officer was asking the sheriff, what were your prayer points? Which prayer points were you guys doing when you get to the church? How can you even to ogunfe abi eran liyan pa, even if it's animal liyan pa, it will smell. The shepherd is a prophet, for Christ's sake, a prophet of God. You wear 4 corner. Tí ojú ẹ̀mí, tí ojú ara tó bá fọ́, tó ríran, tó mọ̀ pé nǹkan kan ti ṣẹlẹ̀. Let's even try and look at it from another perspective. Let's see that, okay, simbe ngba tí wọ́n pa, right? Àbí simbe ngba tí wọ́n gé, tọ́n pa. Then they came into the church that same night to participate in a vigil. If you cannot smell blood and you cannot perceive, observe physically, what about your spiritual mind? Is your spirit mind not telling you that something is wrong within the vicinity of your church? It doesn't make sense. So now, those guys that were coming out and, you all that were opposing our decision, so you don't even have any content or any information that you can use to oppose the decision or the stand of CRC to stand for justice for Quadri. So all what you could do All what you could do was to even use the content you saw from CRC and then be using that to say, hey, kuro, ninu leyin. None of you left your house. You were seated behind your camera in your own room. You never left to go and do any investigation anywhere. You were busy copying and pasting every news or short information or whatever information you see online, including the platform that you are opposing, the armchair blogger that you all are opposing, that you do not, you are saying, hey, they carry fake news. That's where you are coming to even sniff information that you will use to make your own content or whatever you are doing. It doesn't make sense. Every reasonable Christian all over the world should have sympathy for human being. We should have sympathy for human life, irrespective of what. We need to be concerned about human dignity. This is a child of somebody, a brother of somebody, and he went to school. He graduated. He was supposed to even do his convocation this April. Right? He was supposed to do his convocation this April. But you did not allow this to happen because of this bad attitude and actions of those criminals. So that was done. After you do your copy and paste, all the noise you can make, it's finished and ends on the copy and paste that you have done. And you are not ashamed of yourself. Things is not supposed to be done like that. Anyway, so we have seen a lot of letters coming out from the head office. We thought that our church will be, you need to stand to look at what is going on, especially when investigation is going on, when the police officers are involved. You need to see how you can get in touch, even with the family of the victims, engage them and let's know what is going on. But the church never spoke with the family of Quadri. Celestial Church as an institution did not speak with the family of Quadri. Nobody spoke with this family. Up to today that I'm talking to you, nobody in Celestial Church of Christ, not even our media and publicity director, nobody spoke with the family of this guy that died. It means it's none of our business. We are less concerned. But that's not Celestial. I don't think that's Celestial. That's not Celestial. Celestial Church of Christ is supposed to have respect, regard, and be concerned for human life. Right? So, we did not. Even a condolence letter, no condolence letter was written to the family. It doesn't show anything, but it shows that it just demonstrates who we are as Celestial Church of Christ. Up to now that this issue happened, this incident happened within the vicinity of Celestial Church of Christ, all the letters that have been written out is either to warn the bloggers or to tell them to shut up and to stop talking, or to write a letter to say the shepherd is coming out, he's going to be innocent, he's going to be this. I don't understand. Who are the people that are working in that unfair leadership level, and who are the people you are consulting with? You don't work with emotions and allow your personal vendetta. You don't like us, we don't like you. We know. That one is not debatable. So if you don't like us, it doesn't mean that you will stand against justice. You need to stand upright and do what is right, irrespective of whether you like people or you don't like people. So that incident happened. And then let me also say that there was a meeting that was held. But before the meeting, I've seen a lot of voice notes, a lot of message. People were saying, the shepherd is innocent. I think these people are innocent. If people are innocent, their innocence is going to be proven in the law court. It's not on social media. It's not we that are on social media that will declare anybody innocent or even guilty. We don't have the power to do that. As well, all your voice note message you sending or flying here and there cannot defend anybody. It's not even admissible. It cannot defend anybody. But some people are so ignorant. Right? So there was a meeting that was held at Banti. That meeting was called by the Commissioner of Police. It was on Tuesday, 18th of March, 2025. And in that meeting, Celestial Church of Christ was called, and the National Association of Nigerian Students, NAS, was represented, and the Lagos State University LASU Student Union was represented. We have the president of the SUG, we have the legal advisor of the SUG, we have the treasurer of the SUG, LASU. They were present in Panti in that meeting. But in that meeting, did they invite the family of Quadri? No. The family of Quadri were not informed, and they were not invited. In fact, they were around, but they were not part of that meeting. I don't know what kind of meeting is that when the people that owns a boy that died were not informed and you did not even invite them. So in that meeting, we have the evangelist Nosa, Superior Evangelist Kaode, and Superior Evangelist Olayinka Idowu, and Evangelist David. All of them, they were present in that meeting. They represented Celestial Church of Christ. And at the same time, we have the DCP, the Deputy Commissioner of Police. He was there present. And we also have the Police Public Relation Officer, CSP Benjamin Odein. He was present in that meeting. Okay, so at that meeting, do you know that what our church went to that meeting to do was to go with the same video that they saw on CRC, the same video of CRC with CRC logo. That was what they went to the police commissioner to go and tender. Hey, our shepherd is innocent. Look at this video. The boy said he's innocent. You've forgotten. That's childish. Because that's the same platform where all of you critiques. You wrote a lot of letters to say, no, it's a fake news. That platform is not giving original news. And you are using our video content to go to the police commissioner to say, this is evidence. That's no evidence. It's no evidence. Don't be like a baby. That's not evidence. All of you are elders, are leaders, including venerable or assistant venerable, superior, whatever rank that you've taken in the church. You all shamefully went to the commissioner of police and you are tendering a video that has the logo of Celestial Reality Check as the evidence that you want to use to justify your check. I thought you said you already know that he was innocent, even without our content. Why is it that the only evidence that you have is the video that you saw, which was part of investigation and it's the property of Nigerian police? You went there. So you thought that the Nigerian police, they know that the man will have been innocent and they still handcuff him since January. What are you saying? I don't know how people reason. So you guys went there and you were so concerned about the church. You were concerned about the name of the church. You were concerned about the shepherd. That was everything that you guys were projecting. It can happen to anybody's child, even if it's a celestial child. It can happen to anybody's son, anybody's brother. But I pray that justice is going to be served irrespective of religion. I learned this guy is a member of Redeemed Church. I mean, he's from Muslim background and he attends Redeem. But again, the Redeemed people are very matured. They don't want to intervene in this case. They are not even escalating the issue. They don't even want to show like they believe that the police are doing their work and they are not even going there. Do we have the money to say we want to muzzle justice if it becomes an issue between two churches? We don't. We don't. If it's connection, Redeem has it. If it is power, influence, they have it even up to the presidency. So if they are not they are not kind of coming out to cross the justice or the investigation process, why is Celestial Church? You are calling series of meetings on the case of an individual that died, and you have never had one meeting with the family of this guy. You have never even called the family of this guy. The father was crying on social media everywhere. The father cried on Oriyomi Amizat's program. He cried on CRC program. He cried when he was with Yalaje courtroom show. Celestia has not called the father to say, accept our condolence. You are busy doing all kind of meetings to what glory? That doesn't glorify God. There's no God in the presence of all of those meeting and cancels discussion because you were focused about your church. You careless about human being. That doesn't make sense. If nobody has told you, I'm telling you now, my name is Victor Olasunkanmi. There's nothing you guys would do for me. There's nothing. We have received a lot of threats, including those court guys sending us heights of spades. You guys are just funny because there's God that we believe in. It's bigger than everybody. So up to today, since January 16 till now that we are talking to you, Celestial Church as an institution have not called the father of Quadri or the family of Quadri to say, accept our condolence. To us, we are not surprised because even members of Celestial Church that died, our church doesn't write condolence letter. You won't find it. Instead, our member die and they are celebrating. That's what happened in my church. We know there are people that die in this church and they feel like, oh, thank God he has died. When Michael Lunge died, I was hearing from some people, till the guy died and he was buried, nobody, no condolence letter. He's a nobody. That's the way they are going to call it. So even if myself die today or any other person die, the church doesn't care about you or your existence. In as far as you are not speaking or carrying their case on the head to say, oh, I'm supporting them. If you are not speaking for the church to support them against anything, any atrocity, any shenanigans, just defend the church. That's the only thing that they want to celebrate. So it doesn't make sense. But anyway, it is what it is. So when the video was presented to the commissioner and the commissioner was seeing the video, they are now telling the commissioner that, yeah, yes, the shepherd is innocent. We want him to be proven innocent. The commissioner said, let me tell you, this video has nothing to do with the investigation that is going on. In as far as we are concerned, the shepherd is not innocent. That's what the commissioner said to the meeting that happened on the 18th. And you were there in that meeting. You didn't even write all the things that happened in that meeting. You came and write sweet words and you push it out so that people can eat that one. They should be eating it. That's fake news because it's incomplete. You didn't tell us the truth, what the commissioner said. Because you've forgotten when Olaoluwa Ajishomo was arrested at Alakoko area on the 10th of March. He was the one, because the police, when they got him, they said, oh, the other people that were arrested already confessed to the killing of this guy. So you need to cooperate with us and tell us everything that happened. And the guy opened up. He said everything. You know, police can be very intelligent. They could be smart if they want to do their job. So they know how to go about these things. That was how Olaoluwa was arrested. And it was the one that led them to the place where that body was buried, where they exhumed the body of Quadri. So Olaoluwa already gave his own statement and he counted the number of people that were involved in the killing of Quadri. He mentioned the names of everybody, including the names that you don't want to hear. Including the names you don't want to hear. So you guys shamefully went to meet Commissioner of Police. And the same CRC you are all castigating is the CRC video you carry to go and justify. Why not keep it and give it to the lawyer so that when you guys get to the court, you can present it and say, my lord, this is the evidence. Our shepherd is innocent. That's what you should have done in a reasonable setting. If you have any evidence or any information, you will put it together and give it to your lawyer. Your lawyer will use it as evidence to go and defend the person that you want to defend. And why are you defending this man? I don't even know. I don't understand why. Nobody understands why. What is the interest of the church in this case? What is the interest of the church? What is the interest? You know? So many things is happening, and that is how the church is. For me, I will tell everybody, whether you are a member of Celestial Church or any church you belong to, always stand for the truth. Always speak the truth. Do not become a bigot or religious bigots who put their denominations or religions on their head and become blind against justice. So regardless of anything that is going on, do not stand against justice in the way of anybody. Be it a Muslim, be it a Christian, be it an Igbo man, be it an Hausa. No matter the religion, the tribe, the race, the gender, the height, the economic status of the person, please always stand for justice. And that is what God wants. And that is what can qualify you to be a Christian who have the heart of God. You cannot claim to be a Christian when you are being hypocritical or you are doing things that is perverting justice. God is against it. God is against it. So your shepherd is going to be presented in the court. They are going to appear in the court very soon. Probably next month. I have the date, but it's not necessary now. Probably next month. Whatever come up from the court, we are going to also let you know. We'll give you the information. Everybody will get to know what's going on. So with the body of Quadri, everybody saw the way the body was exhumed. And if you look at the way the body was exhumed, you understand that it doesn't really go well. It's as if it was, you know, whatever way they machete or kill this guy, what is going to happen is that there's supposed to be a forensic autopsy. That's the level that this need to get to. There should be a forensic autopsy, which is like the post-mortem examination that will be conducted on the body. This will help to determine the cause and the manner of death of Quadri. So we will be able to get, if the result is out, that will be able to help us to know, do we have the kidney, the liver, the body part, and some other things of the man in the body? Is it part of the completed, you know, where we all know, we all saw everything that happened and there was nothing in there. Anyway, that is left for the police, and when the forensic autopsy result is out, everybody will know. And again, at this level, they're also going to do like forensic analysis and forensic toxicology. It's important to also know to analyze and do some of those things, including the DNA analysis, because we need to know, is Quadri actually Quadri, the body that was exhumed? That questions can only be answered when there's a DNA analysis. Samples of the DNA sample will be taken from the father as well, on the samples of the remains that was exhumed, to analyze and see that actually this body that was exhumed is Quadri that was exhumed. And when the result is out, because all of this is important before you go to court, you cannot present these suspects or accused to the court, and you know, when you say whatever you want to say, what about if their lawyer says that, oh, that body that was exhumed is never Quadri, and they do some DNA analysis or forensic analysis, and the result came out that that's not even the body of Quadri? Because if you see that body, nobody can recognize the body again. It was pieces. So forensic autopsy is needed, which is going to be like an examination that will be able to see to determine the cause of death and the manner at which the guy died, you know. So sometimes they can also as well do forensic toxicology to identify, analyze if there is a drug in his system, if there is poison that was given to him, if there are other substances that can also contribute to the cause of death. All of those things is very important. So these are some of the steps that we expect as at this point, because especially that the body have decomposed, all of those processes needed. And if it was here in United States of America and other countries, they are going to do more analysis, more microscopic examination, histology, to even know how long has that body been deposited in that particular grave, how long has it been killed. You know, they do all of those examination, checking the bones, the flesh, and so many things of the body. So so far the police have contacted the family with regards the process, but when they took that body, it was taken to the morgue, and up to now all of those processes have not been done. Either the government or the family, somebody needs to be responsible to pay the pathologist and all of those forensic experts that are going to be involved in the process of identifying some of those informations that are valid, that can also complement the effort of the legal counsel or the state's counsel before they can present them to court. So as at this point, the family still need a lot of money. They still need a lot of resources, because of course we understand the way Nigeria is. Our police is underfunded. The police are not being funded enough. They don't have adequate budgets to go around and do so many of their jobs. And we know that the budget, sometimes even when it's been allocated, when it's been budgeted and appropriated, it may not be released 100%. And sometimes the little money that is being released, accountability and transparency is always an issue, because a lot of us in Nigeria don't even get interest in budget tracking or budget monitoring to see how things are done. So we've been able to, like, you know, it really baffled some of us to see that a meeting was called with regards the person that died, and the family of Quadri Olas was not invited, but you went ahead and sit down and you were all discussing. I challenge my church. I challenge Alagbaka Ode Ajala. It's not reasonable that you didn't even write a condolence letter, even if it is a sentence. On behalf of Reverend Pastor EMF Oshofa, we accept our condolence. We extend our condolence to the family of Quadri Ogunbode, Olasunkanmi. May his soul rest in peace. Even ordinary that. Well, Victor, this is Nigeria. This forensic you are talking about, I'm not sure we can get actual reports. My thoughts do. Yes, I understand, because even in the case of Mohbad, we know how this case is being dragged for a long time, and it's not as if there's no resources to do all of those things, but unnecessarily there's too much drama going on. I know there's manipulation everywhere, and that's why people need to be who they are. Even if you're a policeman, the uniform should not change your personality, and the work you do should not influence who you are. You should rather be a person, and you should stand as truth person and have the fear of God in all dealings and all work that you do. So yes, very big kudos to the family of Quadri for the good job that they did, because they never compromised in any of those process. And you know, just it's the reason why this case is very different from the case of Quadri, case of Mohbad, was that the family of Mohbad, they had there's a lot of conflict of interest going on in the family, including his wife. All of them have their basic interest to protect, and so many things was going on, a lot of controversy indoor, outdoor. They were having so many secrets and all those things. So that really messed up the case of Mohbad. But in this particular case of Quadri Ogunbode, the family are united. The father and the mother are together. They are staying together. They're a very committed family, and who have the fear of God. They are praying. They hope that their son is going to be a good person that will make impact. But his life was cut short. I want to pray to everybody that have hands in the killing of Quadri Ogunbode. They will never have peace. They will never know rest. And everybody that want to try to compromise justice against the family of Quadri Ogunbode, your family will never smell justice anywhere. If you are hoping for favor, you will not get it. If you are hoping for mercy, it will pass you by. If you hope to have anything that will make you prosper in life, including your children and the generation of your children, you will never have it. In as far as you go against justice for this guy, if you are not advocating for the guy, it's better you sit down and keep quiet. We don't have to force people to advocate for justice for. It's not everybody that will be interested in calling for justice, because, I mean, it's not their family. It's none of their, they are not related to him. So they don't care. So people have rights to keep quiet and sit on their own and be watching if they don't want to. But if you are sent to perverse justice against this guy, just because you are pursuing some interest or some basic interest or something, it will never be well with you. No matter any money you collect, any resources allocated for you to pervert justice so that the family of Quadri will cry and will never see justice, it will never be well with you. Your family will never smell justice. Whether in this world, even when you die, your generation, your grandchildren, everything that happened to Quadri, it will happen to all the people that got involved in the killing of Quadri or last. When your children go to school and it's time for them to graduate, they will meet their water low. Your family will meet their water low. If you are a human being and you say you don't care because of human life, and you have children everywhere in the world or anywhere, your children will never have peace because of what you did to this guy. This guy's family, they are not fighting Celestial Church. They don't have any problem with anybody. They just want their child to get justice. And that is what should be the position of our church. Our church should say that we want justice for this guy to be served. Our church should say, police, do your job. Make sure that there's justice. That is the kind of meeting I was expecting our leaders will go and do at Panti. You are supposed to go there and say, God bless you. Thank you for the work you are doing. Our pastor brought his good will, good message and all of that. And please do your job. Let there be justice. You never met with the organizer one meeting, get here, one regional in Ogun State to go and see. The parents live in Abeokuta. Our church cannot send delegates to go and pay a condolence visit or even to pray for the family of Quadri so that they will know that this is a church and this church is concerned. Celestial Church is concerned. We are not the one that sent Babani and his cohort in his church or his parishioners to be involved in criminality or all kind of atrocity. That is what our church is supposed to do. A reasonable church will go and do that and pray with the family. Even if you are not giving them a 10 kobo, you will go there and pray with them. We did not. No delegate was sent. We did not even issue a condolence letter. We are not interested. But you are busy running around, sending all kind of letters to defend the shepherd. That's suspicious. You are running around busy organizing meetings with the commissioner of police because now you appoint the ex-commissioner of police of Edo State to be the task force chairman. You think that will pervert justice against people, humanity? No. We are members of Celestial Church. A lot of members of Celestial Church will always stand up and say the truth. They will stand up and always speak the truth when we need to speak the truth. So don't tell us all of those things you are doing. There was a case of Akiwumi Ayobami Oyewumi, who got missing in Ibadan. And he got missing, I think it was March 3rd. And since then, Oriyomi Hamzat was the only person that has spoken about this case. The family ran to Oriyomi Hamzat, including his friend. This guy is a member of Celestial Church of Christ. He attended church in Ikorodu, Ogijo. And the news was out. We also shared the news on Celestial Reality Check. Our Alagbaka Ode Ajala, Baba Oni letter. You have never used your typewriter to even write a letter with regards to that boy that was missing. He's a Celestial member. He's a Celestial member. Oman son ikmi, Oman dawo, owo igba, owo ore, owo ikore, tema lowa, run representative to mawa ko, nigba kore ni church won logijo. He's a Celestial member. No letter was issued. Have you called the family to even follow up? You don't have to do that, but there should be mechanism or structures in place to be able to do that. Nobody called the family. Nobody liaised with them to follow up. Even with the parish that he attended, you know the name of the parish. We have sent the name of the parish on the same platform where we are. We mentioned the name of the parish. You know, you have the database. Even if you don't have it, you know Ogijo. You can call anybody in Ikorodu. They will tell you the name of the shepherd. Why don't you call to even call these people and say, hallelujah, what is the update? I know you will not call Oriyomi Hamzat because you thought Oriyomi Hamzat was doing whatever justice he was doing is against the church. Oriyomi Hamzat's advocacy or activism movement has nothing to do with the church. Oriyomi wasn't against Celestial Church of Christ. He's advocating for human being. And the case of Timothy Bade, we all know this guy was a Celestial member. He's a Celestial member. He attend church in Akure. His parents even attend Agunloye Cathedral in Akure before he moved to Abuja. And then he was attending a church where the guy the shepherd was a prophet at CCC Central Parish before he went to form his own parish. And then he declared himself as a pastor. So, but what Oriyomi Hamzat did then, Oriyomi never even thought about the religion of Timothy Bade before he carried the case on head, even against the billionaire who was involved. Adedamola, what is the name of that man? The name of that man in Oshun that was involved in the killing of Timothy Olagbade, yeah. So Oriyomi did not advocate for Timothy because he's a Muslim. No, Timothy was a Christian. So he did whatever he needed to do. So we need effective collaboration as a church. To be able to say our church is a good church, we need to collaborate effectively. You cannot do without working with Oriyomi Hamzat or working with any other people that are advocating when it has to do with Celestial Church of Christ. So that boy, since March 3rd, have been missing. Oyewumi, Ayobami Oyewumi, that's his name. So up to now, we have not seen him. There's no updates, there's no reports, and we have not seen any letter, even to his family to condole or to even give them a motivation or something. We don't care. It's as if we don't care. Anyway, so here comes to the end of this update. I just want everybody to stay in prayer. Pray for the family of this guy and pray for young people, all our children, whatever they are. Let's pray for their safety. Let's pray for them to be safe in the hands of kidnappers, killers, and all sorts of things that is happening in Nigeria. It's really appalling and it's disgusting that these things happen here and there. So all the people that used to like come out and talk, I feel ashamed for all of you. You know why? Because there are so many things that is happening on a daily basis that you are seeing and you are not even able to talk about it. Shamefully, you cannot come out and talk about it. There was a case recently of a shepherd in Ibejuleki area who was having, who, you know, did rape, allegedly anyway, who raped a 14-year-old girl and then did abortion for the girl. So that means it was not once that he has been having carnal knowledge or having sexual intercourse with the girl without the consent or permission of the parents. And a teenager doesn't have consent. She cannot give a consent on her own because she's not an adult. So you cannot force her to do anything, whether she accepts or not. She's a teenager. And then she's treated like as a teenager. The law is there to protect her. And so that's a violation of the criminal code of Lagos State. Our shepherd need to be aware of some of those things. And then he was arrested. And from Akodo police station, they transferred the case to Federal Investigation and Intelligence Department, Federal Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department at Alagbon. So that's where your shepherd is now. And all of you, none of you came out to even talk about that because you care less about those teenagers that were involved, that were raped, that were defied. It's about their future. It's about their future. And rape is taken seriously in other countries, especially like in India, in Pakistan. If such cases happen, we know what is going to happen to them. So because we feel that maybe the minors or the teenagers are not celestial out there, so it's not our business, we are less concerned. No, it shouldn't be done like that. And this shepherd, even when it come out, the area evangelists, they are aware, the previous said they are aware of the case. Whether they report to K2 or not, we don't know. But the issue is that there's so many things happening. Even take a step and do your findings before you come out on social media and be ranting and be, take a step further. Do investigation. You cannot claim to be a speaker online using social media platform without having your evidence. Don't come and be scraping things. Remnants that people eat on the table, when it drop on the floor, the dog will come and pick it. When the dog finish eating those remnants, then the dog will start barking back on the people that are feeding them with the remnants. Aja mama go tomati jaje kun to ball table, go. That's how they do. And that's how some of you guys are. So why not try and take a step further and do your research, do your investigation, confirm issues. And it's not even bad that we collaborate with each other. You can call me, I can call you. If I'm interested in a case that I'm not aware of, I can call you and ask you questions about it. You should be able to give me information. And that is how we are supposed to work together in Celestial Church. If we all want the interest and the betterment of Celestial Church, we're supposed to work together. We cannot be working against each other and be divided against each other and be ranting and be barking like a dog without having any cogent knowledge of what you are, Jawa from the way, since February. I've said it in the last video I made that this guy was declared missing January 16th. And then we got informed January 4. They contacted CRC January 4. And since January 4 to February 4, they contacted CRC February 4. So from February 4 to February 18, we're doing investigation. That was what we're doing. And that was why we did not post anything about Quadri missing. February 18, that was when we concluded our investigation, because from February 4 that they gave us this information, they told us this boy was killed and the boy has been killed. The information came like that, right? So by the time we concluded our investigation February 18th, then we start posting about the missing guy February 20th. So you thought whatever we posted on February 20th was all of the information we have. No, that's not the way things are supposed to be done. We're posting it in a systematic way. And for us to insist on whatever we have posted about this case and say, yes, this is how it is because we have our own confirmation, aside from information that was given to us. CRC, we have our people, our team members are everywhere. They work there on the field and they engage, they interact with people. We have a desire to ensure that our church is cleansed and we want the church to be better. That's why we're doing whatever we're doing. It's not as if we really hate the church. But when bad things are happening everywhere, you guys will not talk. I pray and I hope that Alagbaka Ajala is going to call Oriyomi Amzat or call the shepherd involved, the shepherd of the parish, where Ayobami Oyewumi attend at Ikorodu, to follow up on the case of that guy that was missing in his hotel at Ibadan. Ayobami was missing since March 3rd. And according to the information, the report, everything that he has, including his wristwatch, his phone, his whatever, everything was there, and they didn't see this guy, as if he went to the bathroom to shower and then he disappeared. Sele has not said anything from the authority. We are not interested. We have not talked. But when we discover, maybe there is a further investigation, and then they now link up to see that maybe it's concerned a parish, and then people are coming out to talk. That's when all of you will jump into the air like a bird that is flying from nowhere to come and start ranting. So now is the time. All of you that are on social media that live in Ikorodu is close to Ogijo. You can go to the church, the parish. If you need information, call me. We will give it to you. We don't hoard information. We need to see that the boy is alive or the guy is found. His family needs him. So if you need information, ask us, we'll give it to you. The secretary of the parish that he attends in Ogijo already contacted CRC, and I gave him the link that he needed to reach out to. So if anybody needs information, call us, we will share with you so that you can do whatever you want to do. But if you are not interested, it doesn't make sense. And we cannot continue to call ourselves a church when we are less concerned about human being and human life. You know, humanity comes before religion. Thank you all. At this point, I think we need to call it a quit. If there's any need for us to share any information again, we'll definitely do that. God bless you.